The funded trader has gone down. We'd come into this daily fair value gap and we'd started to reject it. Just been a busy day, man. Just been a real busy day. 500k doing the mechanical, 500k being a little bit more discretion. They're doing 50% off for 100 people only. Obviously, I don't know what that means for the future of Elysium as it stands. The target is Asia High. Whether we can get there, we'll see. I haven't performed at my best. I know I haven't. What's going on, people? It's Monday morning. I'm in the car, just done school run. I don't normally do school run on Monday mornings, to be honest. Steph normally does. However, she woke up with tonsillitis randomly. She had a little sore throat before bed and she's woken up and she's in bits. So I get to do it, which is nice. You know, I'm able to just say, don't worry about it, chill out, I've got this. So yeah, mixes my morning up slightly. Gym session smashed, push day done. And then caught an EU short this morning, which I'm still in, which I'll show you when I'm back on the screen. A lot of people can see that as an inconvenience, or they can see that as a, oh, it's going to ruin my day or ruin my morning, or it's going to get in my way, or whatever it is, right? You can make up all these things that, you know, it can be the reason you missed a trade, or it can be whatever it is. But at the end of the day, you know, you work for yourself, so you have the ability to decide, not if you're taking a day off, but if you need to tweak things slightly. So rather than me being, you know, on the charts for the next sort of 2 hours in my session, I was like, look, I'll go school run, I'll do my stuff. If I miss a trade, I miss a trade. Fortunately enough, I didn't. I managed to get in it before leaving. See if we can start the week with a win, close the quarter out with a couple of wins this week would be very nice. Get some of these challenges done. At the same time, you know, no rush. When it happens, it happens. At the end of the day, like, I would like them to be done by the end of March. That was the original goal, to sort of have 7 figures by the end of March. But, you know, it might not be the case. We might be on stage 2s, or we might have some of it live. But again, it's just an expectation that you set. I'm okay with, you know, kind of setting that as a rough guide, but I'm also okay with it being April before it happens and whatnot. I don't know if you can see, there's a shop there called Just Tires. I used to work there, I was the manager of Just Tires. And yeah, well, that says First for Vans, it's a little bit back. Yeah, interesting times, brings back memories. I always like driving past places I've worked. It just gives me that little kick, do you know what I mean? To be like, big man, you're doing all right. Like, you once were in a position where you wasn't happy, you were making ends meet. You've come a long way from that. What I've chosen to do is always going to come with stress. It's always going to come with uncertainty. But uncertainty is better than unhappiness. And obviously the freedom that I've built for myself and that I have allows me to do these little things like taking the girls to school this morning without it even affecting the day. What's happening, people? How we doing? Just got back from school run in the afternoon now. So I thought I'd show you the EU trade. I didn't get a chance to earlier. I've had such a busy day, just doing so much. Now I took Steph to the doctors and all different stuff. Just been a busy day, man. Just been a real busy day. So on top of that, Paragon also hit its 30% equity drawdown. So we're currently dealing with that. Obviously, I've lost a fair bit of dough myself. But again, it's investing, right? And it's just been one of those Mondays. There's a hell of a lot going on. And to top it off, EU decided to take me out this morning. It's not EU's beef. You know, it's just I was wrong, essentially. There's lessons there, but there's also the fact that I was wrong. Going too deep into the loss and too... yeah, I could have done this, should have done that, could have done this. It just a recipe for just going round and round in circles and never actually get anywhere. Essentially this morning, what I was looking at, you know, obviously we'd had these 2 big bearish candles. I was mindful we could pull back into the range before continuing. We'd kind of come into this daily level last week. It failed to create anything, then came back into it again. This time it's kind of its second chance, although I see this as building liquidity. Could be wrong, it could go way higher. So as it pulled back, I was like, you know what, let's see if we can continue this down to take out this liquidity that was there at the time. So yeah, I was wrong. It is what it is. Like I say, it's easy in hindsight to go I was long. I'm sure there would be people that were long. Big ups to them. It's been a tough day, but it's been a day that hasn't defeated me. These are the days where you can easily, you know, get defeated. You can easily put yourself in a pickle, make yourself feel a certain way, you know, whatever it might be. But the reality of it is it's just life. You know, I see it as life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. There are things that happen today that, yeah, coming into the week, you could be like, oh, I didn't want that to happen and this to happen and that to happen. But it has, and you just have to deal with it. And I think if you can get good at dealing with things like that, then you will automatically see growth and see progress, because it's the times when, you know, shit hits the fan and things get tough. That's when it tests your character, it tests your mental stability a lot. And I can say that, you know, me now compared to me a couple of years ago, different level of person. Like, the wheels would have fell off by now. I probably would have full ported these accounts just for the sake of it, trying to recoup losses from Paragon, trying to recoup losses for this, probably would have done something mental and be in a much worse situation. It's not good for anyone. It's not good vibes, especially when you've got kids and stuff. So you have to just learn that this is the sort of career you choose. You know, these are the things you decide to, you know, do. And with them will come hardships, and life can get in the way at the same time. And, you know, often when they're both kind of in unison and life's sort of testing you and, you know, your career and work's testing you, it can be tough, innit? But at the same time, I'm just here to say that it's part of it, guys and girls. We adapt, we move, and we go again. So I'm going to log this, stick it in Notion, and then we'll see how we're looking tomorrow. I still think I'm bearish, personally. I still think we'll see sales. What is going on, everyone? How are we doing? It's Tuesday, and I am in the car, charging the car. A lot of errands to run this morning, a lot of things to do. I've got a haircut in about half an hour, so I just thought I'd quickly grab some juice for the old car. Only downside to electric cars is you do spend quite a bit of time charging them. Obviously, if it's on the driveway and out of a charger, it's different. But when you're out and about, these ones are a lot quicker. Tried to switch off. Not going to lie, at the moment, I'm not able to switch off. Obviously, the last couple of weeks have been pretty stressful. Yesterday, definitely with Paragon, you know, hitting its 30% equity stop out, and you know, some people, obviously including myself, are on a little bit higher risk on 1.3, so sort of lost around 39-40%. You know, it's tough to handle, it's tough to deal with, but at the same time, you know, this is investing. The system had a 5-year record live. It had never even had a drawdown month, and then unfortunately, you know, it goes and has its worst month ever. I got caught offside on an Aussie New Zealand position, and yeah, it just it didn't manage to get out of it before the equity loss, you know. And we have to protect clients' funds at the end of the day. We can't just be like, it'll come back, it's all good, let's just go to zero, because if it doesn't, then we've lost everyone's money, which is not a good look. Obviously, I don't know what that means for the future of Elysium as it stands. We're documenting everything raw in the moment. You know, I'm not hiding anything. I'm not trying to, you know, cover shit up. I've always been honest, sometimes to my own disadvantage, but I think it's important to do. And it's also important for me to document, because I can look back at it and be like, rah, come a long way. I'm going to go get my hair cut, get this bunch chopped, because it's coming up to the 2-week mark again already. For all of you that can't believe I get my hair cut every 2 weeks, I'm pretty sure that's standard for dudes, you know. Especially in England, 2 weeks is normal. I know people that get it done every day. I know some people that get it done like every 4 days, because they don't want the skin fade to wear off. So yeah, how often do you get your hair cut? These last couple of weeks, I'd be lying if I said they probably haven't been the most hardest weeks for me in terms of my career, in terms of stress. You know, I've not been myself. I've definitely felt agitated. I've not been sleeping as well. And, you know, it's a concern, because for me, as you know, health is a priority. But we are going to be closing down Elysium Capital. Unfortunately, the financial loss that we took is just way too big for us to function. And to offer the system free of charge with no performance fees to recoup losses, we would literally make no revenue as a business. And with the loss that we've took, the investor lost a hell of a lot of money. I'm not going to get into how much, but a lot. He obviously asked for his investment back. Fortunately enough, we had just about got that investment back over the last sort of 7 months. You know, myself and Kieran haven't really been earning money from Elysium at all. It's not that kind of business. The whole model was we made money when you made money. The vision was always, you know, the big goal, 5 million, 10 million, turn it into a hedge fund, you know, manage real large investor capital. And obviously, you know, that now we feel has been tarnished and been diminished, and it would just be too much of a gruel to come back from that. So big ups to everyone that supported. You know, it's been a very interesting experience for me, and a lot of lessons. What this means for current clients, you know, if you're already an existing client, we've decided to offer Krona completely free, no performance fees for life. You know, unless no one's using it, then we'll just take it down. But, you know, myself and Kieran use Krona as well. We're happy to do that, but we don't need the business open and functioning to do that. So we're going to leave Krona. You can access Krona, you can use Krona, you can use it on whatever you want. You know, I wouldn't recommend them for prop. They're not designed for that in the first place. But like I say, you're welcome to do what you want. There's no performance fees. You know, obviously I just want to highlight, it's not guaranteed that it's going to bring back any loss that you incurred. We can't say for sure anything's guaranteed. We should know that by now in this world. You could walk outside and get hit by a plane. It could take 9 months, it could take 12 months, it could take 14 months, it could take 2 years. It completely depends on how the system performs, but there's always a risk. And every time you sign up, you will always sign a risk mandate saying that you accept that risk. So just bear that in mind, please, people, before going over there and just assuming that, I'm going to make all my money back, it's all good. You need to accept the risk. That's something I really trying to highlight. But like I say, you know, as a gesture of goodwill, you know, we paid a lot of money for these systems. We put a lot of money into this of ourselves. You know, I've took losses myself financially, but that's my problem. You know, we want to just leave something there for people to use that are obviously clients of Elysium. And for those that did lose, it's a chance to potentially make that money back. But like I say, there's no guarantee, and your capital will always be at risk, because it's at times like this that really test you. They really test your character. They really test your emotional composure, and they really test you and how badly do you want it? How badly do you want that vision, that goal, that freedom? And you might go, well, why are you giving up on it then? And it's not giving up on the vision. It's just giving up on this part, this thing that, I thought could help me get there. Unfortunately, it hasn't, and failure's all right. Like, failure's part of any success story. I've been very open about that for a long time. And I think, you have to welcome failure, and you have to take failure on the chin. You have to learn from failure, and you have to move forward with the new lessons and go again. And that's what it's all about, is it's going again. It's picking yourself up and going again. I'm going to go pick the girls up in a little bit, and then going to go and just chill out tonight. I'm going to make some food, and then we're going to just probably watch some TV or something and just chill. Get up tomorrow and we go again. It's a new day, new start, new opportunities, and we go again. But yeah, the dog wants to go out. He's crying at me. So I'll catch you tomorrow. What's happening, people? How we doing? It's Wednesday. It's lunchtime. Just got back from a walk, and it looks like I just missed the rain. I've got a masala curry from Simmer. I'm glad I got these this week, to be honest, because this week has been absolutely batshit crazy. But we are surviving, and we are moving, and we are getting things done. I was looking for longs this morning on EU, and I also took an L yesterday on EU. So I want to pull it up, because there's something I want to talk about here, which I think is pretty powerful for people, because we're in a phase at the moment where, obviously, well, not just at the moment, we've always been in it, I guess, where mechanical trading is what everybody wants. But I want to kind of highlight the cons to mechanical trading that I've found personally as well. Anyway, yesterday in New York, we got a sweep over here, and I decided to get in basically here, trying to continue this bullish momentum. However, on the day, a part of me said I'm short, and I think it's more of a short trade, purely based on what I was seeing. So if I go back to the daily, obviously we'd started to have this bearish push. We'd built what I was deeming here as liquidity, and although I was looking for longs to perhaps reach higher, not being focused enough, we'd come into this daily fair value gap and we'd started to reject it, and we had this liquidity to target. We've obviously got this bearish order flow at the moment, obviously not truly confirmed until that goes, I guess, but internal nonetheless. Drop into the 15 minute, we'd had the original push. We'd not taken out any of this liquidity, so we'd stacked and built liquidity. We'd kind of had that push, so the daily candle on this day had opened pretty much bullish all day. If I cut price quickly, it'll be easier for me to show you. So if I go here, daily candle as well, we'd opened, we'd gone slightly just wicked under, so we'd left a little wick on the daily, and then we'd pushed. So this was essentially a manipulation into this daily fair value gap, which got filled and then immediately rejected out of. We then started to see bearish signs, and then there was a nice short here in New York, conveniently where I was actually long. So I could have got in on the 5M or the 15M, but I took the long, and that was because the way I've kind of built things to be mechanical, the trade was there. So I was like, okay, cool, like I need to take it, and I took it. And it was the same as the short I took over here on Tuesday. On Monday. Again, built it to be short, but in my head I was like, we could see a pullback here, I'm long. But where I've gone down this mechanical when one thing does this, you do this. What I want to touch on with it while my food gets cold is obviously I can't eat and talk, I feel rude. Obviously, with mechanical trading, you have to hit everything, right? Because you're playing a set of probabilities anyway. And when your criteria is met, what I've found mechanical trading does, it actually takes the trading out of the trader. And what I mean by that is, when I had a lot of my success, I traded, if you like, discretionary, right? A lot of times people would ask me, how did you get in that? Why did you take this? Why did you do that? Why did you do this? And everybody wants you to put it in a black and white form of this, do this, do this, do this, do this. Now, while that can be done and while it can be profitable, there are occasions where my trader mind, who's been trading for 6, nearly 7 years now, is looking at the trades I'm taking based on the mechanical edge, and he's going, I don't really like the look of this. Now, two things here. Sometimes you might do that based on fear, emotion, whatever it might be, right? I would like to say I'm past that point of being fearful. I'm not the completed article, but I've done enough work with Rewired and everything over these years to not be scared of that and to be able to sort of trust my gut a little bit and trust my intuition. Now, intuition is a fine line, because if you're not the best at it and you just put things in your head, you can talk yourself out of trades and you can, not follow a plan. And that's where mechanical rule-based systems are great. But I think once you've got skin in the game, having the ability to look at a trade for what it is and go, you know what, although it sits and fits, although it fits and ticks these like checklist, I, from what I'm seeing on a higher time frame view perhaps, don't like the look of it. So I'm either going to sit out or I'm going to change my bias in the moment and I'm going to do the opposite. Now, obviously with that, you know, you've got the risk of, well, if I do the opposite and my mechanical edge says I'm long, I go short and lose, you're going to start getting in your head, right? So it's a fine line. But what I've noticed over the last few months where I've kind of been like rebuilding everything is I have taken away a lot of that trader element where I'm actually like, you know what, I'm a trader, let me be a trader. And what that's doing is it's putting me in certain trades where I'm a little bit like, I shouldn't have took that, shouldn't be in that. And it's just really insightful. It's something for me to focus on. It's something for me to work out how I want to go about it. Because whilst I've tried to make trading the most simple, easiest thing, at the same time, I am a trader. And, you know, recent events and events that happen in life in general have made me know that trading will make me more money than most things will ever make me. And I need to be locked in and almost not take that trader away. And we can be very guilty of like, I want to just sit at home all day, do nothing, have loads of freedom, so let me find the easiest way to trade. Now, don't get me wrong, if you work a busy job or you have a busy business and you need a mechanical edge, then yes, that's when they're great. But I think if you're someone like myself who is in front of the chart, who can read price action, who has an understanding, who's spent a long time in the market, not having the ability to say, this isn't the best of trades, I should probably stay out, or I think I'm wrong here, I'm going to switch my bias, that's so powerful to reach in that next level. Something I'm going to test around with, I think what I'm going to be doing is splitting my funding down the middle, 500k doing the mechanical, 500k being a little bit more discretion, and just see what happens. I think it's a good idea to do, purely because this isn't the first time I've noticed this. I'm noticing it in journaling, I'm noticing it a lot, and I'm like, you know what, I've got to back myself, I've got good knowledge of the market, why not use it to my advantage? So we'll see what happens, but other than that, I'm just going to eat this because now it's probably freezing, and then I'm going to crack on for the rest of the day. Obviously, if I get in any trades, I'll let you know. But yeah, other than that, I'm pretty much thumbs up Wednesday. What's happening, people? How are we doing? It's Thursday. It's lunchtime. Shock. I'm eating again. Obviously, overnight, the funded trader has gone down. Not ideal. And like I always say, you know, it's never good for the industry when a prop goes. Obviously, I'm not condoning what the funded trader did is right. I'm just not getting involved because I've not used them. I also don't see the benefit in, you know, spreading anything. They've already like lost the business. Things have gone down. It's not good. Obviously, you know, prop firms are amazing for traders, and I want to reiterate that, providing they operate in an ethical manner and, you know, are not doing anything wrong. All people ask me what props I recommend or I would use. Personally, myself, I've got FTMO. Always said FTMO. The way they handle themselves, the way they conduct things, they're at the top of the industry. They always have been. Alpha Capital is another one for me, that the way they handle themselves, the infrastructure they've got, they own the tech, they own the broker, they own the licenses. One of the owners is actually FCA regulated himself. They've got decent trading conditions, raw spread or commission free. Again, I prefer raw spread. You know, they've got 30% off at the moment for Easter. If you've lost an account and you want to get one, they would be the cheapest. Obviously, if you want to go to FTMO, go to FTMO. I'll leave a link in the description for Alpha. You can check them out. You can get a free trial, you can have a play around. I also use funding pips. Haven't had a bad experience. What I don't like is I'm a match trader. That's my own beef. Obviously, I'll change to C trader once I pass. And I also don't like the fact that you can't copy trade. So if you're listening, allowing copy trading would be huge. I don't understand why you don't do it. Just because you let people copy on a master, for me personally, your spreads and stuff are not good enough to be my master account. So I wouldn't have you as a master. It's an inconvenience not having that there. And also only being able to get 100k per system, like strategy as such. I know why you do it. It's to protect your downside. I understand that. But it's a little bit frustrating because it doesn't give you much longevity with wanting to, you know, 100k is 100k, right? It's good, it's cool. But if you want to scale, you've got to look elsewhere. So they're the three firms currently. I have a funded engineer as well, actually. Obviously, they went through real turmoil times, but they have come back. So, you know, big ups to them as well, because it's nice to see when a firm can bounce back. Obviously, I don't know what this holds for the other firms. Like I said earlier, you know, I'm not looking to get involved and start jumping on bandwagons to try and get clicks or engagement. It's just not me. A lot of you had asked me what I think about it. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's right. But I also think, and I've said this many a time, and it's just from my own learnings as well, never have an expectation in this game, and never in this game think, oh, because I'm with this prop and because I'm past, I'm guaranteed this or I'm guaranteed that, because that's not the case. Obviously, the ones that are set up correct, they should have you should have a much better chance of obviously, you know, getting that. But I think even on your own personal account, if you were trading, until you actually withdrew the profit, it's not yours, it's not crystallized. So don't let that derail you. If you've lost accounts, you've got the skill set, you can go back, you can do it again. I don't know why I'm holding my glasses out like I'm some kind of teacher or some shit. You can go back, you can get the skill, you can do it again. Obviously as well, I've mentioned it before, I'm also on the Falcon Fund, which is actually a real fund backed by real capital. I believe you've got until probably the end of today, by the time you're watching this, to jump on the Falcon Fund. They're not making money off of failed challenges and stuff, hence why they don't just let anybody in. Darwin X itself, Darwin X Classic or Zero, you can get allocation, you can obviously build from there. I personally think, Darwin X is one of the most underrated platforms out there at the moment, and I think that everybody should be on Darwin X. They're doing 50% off for 100 people only. Click the link in the description, you can save yourself 50% off the initial sign up of Darwin X, and you only pay the monthly fee once you are off the risk calibration, which is around 20 trading decisions and 10 trading days. So, like I say, I'd be getting on that. Like, if you're not on it, there's no reason not to. You can build your record, you can get allocation. You never know where that record could take you. Don't have to risk crazily. The risk engine will work your risk out for you. It's very, very clever. It can tell you so much about your system, and it can truly change the way you see your trading if you allow it to. So definitely check that out. Yeah, other than that, no trades for me this morning. EU just absolutely fell off of a cliff, which is slightly annoying, but again, it is what it is. There's not a lot you can do about it. So yeah, I'm going to crack on with the rest of my day, and then I will pick this up in a little bit. What's going on, everyone? How are we doing? It's Friday, and I'm just getting ready to go for a walk in the rain because I need to get my steps in regardless. I didn't go gym this morning because I ran out of dog food. His new food's not arrived because of the bank holiday. It won't be here till next week, so he had nothing, and we haven't got shopping till tonight. So I decided to get up nice and early like I would, and I went to get him his breakfast. So I actually sacrificed my leg session. Could have gone after, but I got a busy day. I got a lot to do, so I'll probably try and fit it in maybe over the weekend. If not, I'll just have to owe a session next week. It's not ideal, but it needs to be done. So I'm going to go out for a walk in the rain and make sure I get my steps in, because I can't ignore two things, otherwise I'd be falling off. But, these things happen at the end of the day. There's a lot of news this afternoon as well, and, target is Asia high. Whether we can get there, we'll see. Basically playing that reversal after we'd taken out this liquidity on the daily, looking to get that pullback, and then see where we're going to go from there. But I do think overall this all could be wiped out. So long term, we could be seeing that go. Obviously, we'll see how we get down. If we can continue that, we could also react out of this sort of sell to buy. So we'll see what happens there. I also took some partials this morning off of Booby, which was a meme coin I think I mentioned last week. So I've been in this for about a week now, week and a half. Obviously, mega high risk meme stuff. So if you are playing with it, only play with what you're willing to lose, because at the end of the day, you could lose it all. I need to get my steps in, because if I don't, then I will get fat again. And I've been fat once before. It's not nice, so I don't want to be fat ever again. So yeah, it's important to do it. Obviously, like I say, life can get in the way at times, and you just have to make certain decisions, and not like make sacrifices as such, but just prioritise certain things. For me, going for a walk without my glasses on my head would be ideal. It's something that I've been doing for a long time now. It's a habit, and if I didn't do it, I'd feel weird. So although I'm going to get soaked, I know a lot of people said to me before, what, are you okay with just getting absolutely drenched? Yeah, I've got a rainproof coat, represent. It's decent. Only downside, it makes my trousers soaked once the rain starts falling on me. I get my hood up, don't look the best, but we go out, we get 10,000 steps in, take me about just over an hour, and come back, make some lunch, see what's going on with the charts, catch up with a few bits, go over the quarter, because I want to vet the quarter. I want to make sure this week, I want to make sure I'm vetting the quarter, how I've performed. I haven't performed at my best, I know I haven't, and I know what I need to do to get back to my best. And then I want to write down some intentions for Q2, and how I'm going to basically take on Q2, what I'm going to be doing, what I need to be doing to ensure I hit those goals, and I'm not just sort of stagnating and just stuck in a rut. I need to make sure I'm progressing and moving forward. So yeah, without further ado, walk time, I'll pick this up in a little bit. Peace. Of course, that long would hit TP, the one I don't take. But that's how the cookie crumbles, especially if you have, like I said before, a kind of mechanical system. You sometimes can't afford to miss out on trades, right? So it's just one of them. Like I said this morning, didn't give what I wanted the 5, and I was being greedy on the 15 because I didn't realise how small the stock was anyway. It's a mistrade. I'll log it as a mistrade. Make sure this weekend, make sure you're setting intentions for Q2. And I know that might be like, yeah, alright mate, whatevs, but I really mean it. Like, look at Q1, what did Q1 do for you in terms of pros and cons? What did you do well? What did you not do so well? Is there any improvements? Is there no improvements? Be honest. It's down to you to be honest at the end of the day. You can't just, have it your own way all the time. You do have to be real with this shit. But be honest and say to yourself, right, okay, you know, how well did I actually trade? Is there anything I could have improved on? My routines, whether it's not trading related, maybe it's the gym or your health or going out for a walk or spending more time with your family or whatever it is. Vet all of it and then look at it and go, right, what can I improve on? What do I need to do in Q2? And when I say set intentions, I mean, like, I don't know, let's say I'll use myself for example. I've been distracted quite a lot in terms of my own trading performance, and I've been trying to find a way to potentially trade a lot easier just because I'm like, trading's there, it's a thing, but, you know, let me focus on some other stuff. Now, for me, trading's what's going to be the vehicle to make me hundreds of thousands that can then do all sorts of my life, business, life, whatever. So to neglect that, because I'm trying to find an easy way, when I have a vast variety of knowledge to trade these markets, is a disservice to myself. So I'm already aware of that. So from next week and moving forward, it will be a lot more in-depth analysing of the charts. Does this trade make sense? Do I want to take it? Reacting if I'm seeing a reaction. You know, I've had trades running 3% sometimes to take you out. Right, well, what's it reacting off? Is there a way you could take some money off the table? You know, really going back to being like a trader. So that's something I'll be doing. I'll be writing an intention for that. How do I do that? How do I perform at my best? I know for my best, I need to be focused. I need to be healthy. I need to be eating clean. I need to be going to the gym. I need to be getting out for steps. I need to be not surrounding myself with the wrong vibes or negativity or, you know, whatever it is. And it's so easily to happen. It's so easy to creep up on you. You've only got to take a few minutes on social media and it's pretty much negative galore. And, you know, you have to find ways to manage that and take these distractions out of your life. Because, again, Q2 could be the life-changing quarter for you. Ask yourself where you want to be. Then ask yourself how do you get there and what you need to do to get there. And then track your performance on that. Don't track your performance on your P&L. Track it on how well did I stick to what I said I wanted to do or I was going to do. And just measure it from that. And that, you know, that's what I'm going back to, is just measuring, right, these are the things I want to do. This is where I want to be. This is what I've got to do to get there. Right, so I need to do this. So then do it. And then track yourself on it. And you'll have days that are hard. You'll have days that fall off. But it's all about getting yourself back up and going again. But yeah, I'm going to leave you with that one. And like, I just want to say massive thanks to all of you that have sent like messages over the week and stuff about Elysium and that. You know, I appreciate it. And, you know, I appreciate everyone's patience, support. You know, it's a tough time, but it's one, like I say, it's just time to move on. And, you know, I've moved on. So, yeah, we go again. But appreciate you all as always. And without further ado, I'll catch you next Sunday. Have a great week. Have a great Easter. Peace and love, gang.